The first affirmative, wait. Yes, the first affirmative will be from 台南女中. So, 芷安, are you ready?
汤文对面有没有 ready？
Yes.
Okay, so probably what we should do is that we first try to test your microphone. Okay, so when it comes to your turn, could you please unmute yourself and then please tell us your role? For example, I'm the first affirmative and tell us your name to make sure that your microphone works well. Okay, so why don't we start with the first affirmative?
I'm the first affirmative debater, and my name is Junjuan.
Thank you.
Okay.
How the second affirmative, please?
I'm the second affirmative, and my name is Xu Weichun.
Okay, so could we have the first negative from 金城中学?
我没听啊，到我了。哦，
I'm sorry, is it wait? Are you the first affirmative? You should unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm the second debater of Jinchuan High School, the affirmative side.
是吧？
So are you the negative or the affirmative?
Oh, I'm the negative side.
Okay, so the first negative?
I'm the first debater of Jincheng High School of the negative side.
Okay, thank you. So are we ready for today's mock debate, or is there any last minute questions? Oh, for this room, I was notified that students from Jincheng Zhongxue will be handling the timing. Is that correct?
Right. I'm going to handle the timing.
Okay, so you're going to let us know when to stop, right?
Yes, and maybe we will start after 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes? Okay, thank you.
所以为什么对面人这么多啊？哎，老师让我们用你教的那个什么，那个 debate 老师教的什么记笔记的方法怎么弄？咋了？我们能看到啊。我要找一下那个赛程表。你去 Drive 上面就有啊。我还得开分屏啊。这要怎么讲？啊。
Okay, we are ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. The first debater of the affirmative side, cross-explanation. Constructive speech, 5 minutes, starts now.
Good afternoon, honorable judges and fellow debaters. Today, we are here to discuss the proposition academic portfolios for college admissions should be abolished in Taiwan. As the first affirmative speaker, I will outline our stance, define the current portfolio system, and present the harms associated with its implementation. First, I will give you the definition of academic portfolios in Taiwan. In Taiwan's current education system, academic portfolios are comprehensive collections of students' academic and extracurricular records, reflections, and achievements. Students are required to upload these materials to a centralized system every semester, starting from their freshman year. This process is intended to provide universities with a holistic view of applicants beyond standardized test scores. We, the affirmative, believe that academic portfolios for college admissions should be abolished in Taiwan due to the following serious harms. Harm 1. Both students and teachers are under unnecessary stress. Evidence 1.1 supports that students are under stress because they have to upload reports every semester starting their freshman year, when they are not even sure which field they are interested in. According to a study made by Center for Language Education at National Tsinghua University, due to not being able to make refinements to upload files, students face pressure to upload their best work at once within the time limit. However, these limitations make students hesitant to upload materials for their portfolios,
那我
causing
多
more
太大了。
stress. Students also tend to focus on quantity over quality, resulting in the participation of meaningless extracurricular activities. Evidence 1.2 suggests that teachers are too busy helping students create their portfolios instead of designing their courses. According to the 113 annual high school students and teacher survey reports, teachers provide less support for portfolio creation in mandatory courses compared to elective or extracurricular courses. 70% of teachers also report that they lack time to integrate portfolio related activities. A study by Taiwan National Review Monthly shows that teachers are pressured to design courses that can be made into material for academic portfolios instead of teaching normally. Harm 2. Harm 2 suggests that differences in regional or personal resources cause inequality, authenticity, and commercialism. Evidence, evidence 2.1. Survey data reveals a disparity in portfolio creation, with students from wealthier or more educated families participating at higher rates. Students attending private or prestigious high schools also exhibit greater enthusiasm for portfolios development than their peers in standard public schools. These findings highlight the significant impact of a student's family and school background on their involvement in academic portfolio creation. Evidence 2.2. Huang Wei Li explained that the availability of diverse elective courses in schools is influenced by factors such as school size, location, faculty expertise, and, and, and faculty, leading to limitations in the number and variety of courses offered. Although online learning can serve as a supplement, issues related to course equality, resource allocation persist. Furthermore, constraints such as class schedules, distance, and enrollment limits may prevent some students from taking their desired courses, thereby affecting the accumulation and development of their academic portfolios. Harm 3. Risk of fabrication and lack of transparency in how students' work is evaluated. With students required to submit numerous files to their e-portfolios each year, time constraints often push them to resort to unethical methods to complete their portfolios. According to Liberty Times Net, organizations not only sell portfolio templates but also provide ghostwriting services, charging over 160,000 new Taiwan dollars for all the projects required throughout 3 years of high school. Since these works are neither AI generated or plagiarized, universities face greater challenges in identifying portfolios that were not created honestly. To address these significant harms, we propose abolishing the current equity for college admissions in Taiwan. Instead, we advocate for admissions process that emphasizes standardized assessments and personal interviews, allowing students to showcase their abilities and interests without the undue burden of maintaining extensive portfolios. My partner will elaborate on the details of this plan in the subsequent speech. Thank you.
他讲的些啥听不清啊？我只知道他讲的第一点是 unnecessary stress，后面不知道。
Okay, so the cross examination 3 minutes starts now.
你关麦干嘛？
Okay, so what is your second contention about? Can you repeat it again?
Do you mean our second harm?
Right.
Yes, our second harm is that there are differences in regional or personal resources causing inequality, authenticity, and commercialization.
And what is your third contention about?
Our third harm is that there's a risk of fabrication and lack of transparency in how students' work is evaluated.
Okay, so um, you talked about the The academic portfolio produce stress to students by like handing report or something else. But doesn't doesn't doing the report means that they get improve and learn other things.
This,
I
I don't.
mean, I
Could you
mean,
please rephrase your question? Thank you.
okay. I mean, doing the. Don't you think that handing the report will improve students' ability?
I think this is a little related to differences. No, this is a little related to like the fabrication part and how work is evaluated, because a lot of students will now pay for this work to be done. So I don't think that this necessarily allows all students to improve like self-regulated
Okay,
learning and stuff
okay.
like that.
And talk about your plan. Don't you think that? Why don't you think that your plan also produce stress?
So my partner, which is second affirmative speech, she will be elaborating on that later.
Okay. And what do you mean in the contention two about lack of trans transparency?
Yes. So we, the affirmative, believe that as of now, it is hard for colleges and universities and professors to know whether or not this work was done by a student themselves, or if a teacher did it for them, or if other organizations did it for them. That's what we mean by the lack of transparency.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Preparation time 1 minute.
什么叫 teachers help too much？他讲到有个 evidence，显示老师会参与太多在这种学习历程里面。尼玛，我操，真逆天了！你怎么接拍了？
Okay, so the constructive speech of our first debater 5 minutes starts now.
Honorable judges and fellow debaters, we are proud to negate the resolution. My partner will provide further clashes to the affirmative arguments and their proposed need for change later. Now, the negative team will present the acceptable status quo. Academic portfolios provide a structured framework for students to document and reflect on their learning journey. Eh? On their learning journeys, facilitating the exploration of their interests and passion. According to research by Master Lo from the National Taiwan Normal University in 2024, there is a strong correlation between academic portfolios and increased learning motivation. Portfolios help clarify students' learning goals, fostering motivation to pursue further academic and career paths. Furthermore, academic portfolios significantly contribute to future planning. A survey conducted by Master Lee and National China University in 2023, involving over 600 students, found that portfolios help career planning. He stated, quote, "The more students engage into the creation and development of their academic portfolios, the more effective these portfolios are at predicting their future career choices. The impact of academic portfolios is that they provide students with ample time to reflect on their personal development and career goals. Without portfolios, students may face significant confusion in their academic careers, especially in high school, where many students struggle to determine their academic and professional paths. This will likely exacerbate the challenges students already face, making them more uncertain and less prepared to navigate their futures effectively, and worsening the status. Academic portfolio play a fundamental role in development of students' literacy and cognitive skills. While there are various other methods to enhance literacy abilities, portfolios serve as a comprehensive record of students' growth, enabling professors to track and validate the acquisition of specific skills. In a survey by Professor Lin from National Taiwan University in 2024, involving over 3,000 students, it was found that more than 60% of students believed that academic portfolios helped develop their literacy skills. Remarkably, 90% of the students reported learning at least one literacy competency through these portfolios process. These competencies are not only crucial for academic success, but also for navigating daily life. The impact is that portfolios enable students to acquire critical skills, such as distinguishing between reliable and unreliable sources and analyzing complex social issues. In our modern era, where information overload is a significant challenge, these skills are indispensable. However, these competencies cannot be developed overnight. The portfolio system provides students with a structured, gradual process to enhance these skills over time. In terms of time frame, eliminating this system would hinder students' intellectual development, unlimitedly causing more harm than good. Academic portfolios offer a comprehensive and assertive view of students' academic journey, providing valuable insights beyond traditional grades and test scores. They allow universities to assess students' capabilities, achievements, and personal development over time. A 2022 survey by United Daily News involving over 500 teachers and professors revealed that 56.7% of university professors supported academic portfolios. Professors appreciate that portfolios enhance authority by showcasing students' genuine process, rather than relying on last time cramming or superficial applications that fail to reflect a student's true abilities. Portfolios enable professors to evaluate a student's overall potential and attributes in a more holistic way. The impact of this is that academic portfolios not only help students prepare their materials for college admission in a thoughtful and organized manner, but also enables universities to select students who are a better fit for their departments. Thus, we're proud to net. 有点快了。这个不是我问，是他问我。
Okay, so the so the cross examination 3 minutes starts now.
I So first, I'd like to ask, you mentioned that students are provided with ample time. How are they provided with ample time if students are they have to upload stuff every semester? And you mentioned how because they have this time, they are able to explore their interests. But a lot of students by the 10th grade, they don't know what interests they have. So how are they supposed to build a strong portfolio from that? How are they supposed to learn from this experience?
By ample time, I mean students have whole 3 years to make their academic portfolios and to know their future career. And to know their future career, this is a process in and it needs to be done in 3 years, but it cannot. It's you cannot make it very quickly it's because students need to try many things to know what they're really what they really like and what they really are good to.
Okay, second of all, I'd like to ask, you mentioned that the benefits of doing portfolios is that students can learn to regulate time and stuff. But as of now, like we mentioned, a lot of students tend to just buy their portfolios or like have ghostwriters writing their portfolios. So how can do you have proof that that there are these benefits that you mentioned?
You mean academic portfolio can help students literacy abilities?
Yes, basically at the end of your speech, you mentioned the benefit of these portfolios. Could you please give us some just like proof to this?
Oh, there's a survey by Professor Lin from National Taiwan University. It tells about more than 60% of students but help they believe academic portfolio help develop their literacy skills. Yes, that
Sorry,
one.
could you repeat what you just said for me?
Uh, a survey by Professor Lin from National Taiwan University shows that more than 60% of students believe that academic portfolios help develop their literacy skills.
Okay, thank you.
他们也没听清我们在讲什么。
Okay, so 1 minute preparation time starts now. handing the report produce stress，就是有没有第二个，有没有其他东西，然后 resource，然后第二个就是说，他们刚刚你说第二个 different resource difference，然后第三个 content 就要问，第三个一定要问哦，
是 Google 怎么这时候不行？
不能 Google 吧？算了，
查个单词不行吗？
真的。
这个会录进去吗？还真会。
你声音是不是还没有关掉？
对。那接下来你看谁
Okay, so the affirmative side, second debater, constructive speech, 5 minutes starts now.
Good afternoon, honorable judges and fellow debaters. Now, I would like to introduce our new plan with the abolition of academic portfolios. The college admission process will include the following three channels: exam-based admission, individual application, and special programs for outstanding or students. Applicants through the individual application channel will be evaluated based on subpoint 8 academic portfolio performance in school. Instead of requiring students to create a portfolio, the report cards will reflect their academic progresses. Teachers will assess students' performance based on their coursework and classroom engagement. This ensures that students' efforts throughout high school are recognized fairly without forcing them to spend time to fermenting their achievement into portfolios. Subpoint B, general scholastic ability test. This standard exam taken annually by senior year students provide a fair and objective measure to academic abilities. Unlike portfolios, which favor students with more resources and ex- external support, testing provides equal opportunities for all students. Subpoint C, interview application. Professors from department to which student apply will conduct interviews. This can be individual or group based, allowing students to express their motivation and interest. Unlike portfolios, which often involve teachers' influence, interviews allows students to present themselves directly and respond in real time to questions about their
计划常年来。
abilities. If students wish to showcase their project or achievement, they can also bring printed collection of work for professors to reference. However, this will not be a mandatory requirement, allowing flexibility for students with different strategies. Subpoint B's um, subject-specific test. Certain college may include additional written or hands-on tests so that they can find students that they want for certain department. By adapting this new system, we can um, address the three major harms in, indeed. Sorry. Reducing first is to reduce stress. Students no longer need to manage complex portfolio, and teachers can regain time to focus on teaching quality rather than designing class around portfolio creation. And school administrations no longer need to handle the task of portfolio management. And students from less privileged family will no longer have to worry about not having decent extracurriculars to put into their portfolios. Community high school and teachers won't have to worry about not having as many diverse courses. Yeah, and with our new system that focus heavily on interviews and subject specific tests, students will be forced to show their most solid authentic work and skills. So by abolishing the academic portfolio system will create a fair and more effective admission process, ensuring that all students have equal opportunities to showcase their talent and potential without stress or unnecessary financial burdens. Thank you.
等到底很好玩。
两个是比较好，反正就要问一些细节，像师资、资金什么计划，还没有搞清楚他们是什么计划，计划也是会问，Okay, so the cross examination, 3 minutes. 3 minutes starts now.
Hi, first I will ask about your plan. Can you repeat your plan? The name. Can you repeat your plan?
So our plan will be based on three channels. First is exam-based admissions, and second is individual application, and third is special programs for outstanding or students. So that's the three channels, the three major channels.
Okay. Uh, did you mention interviews in your constructive speech?
Yes. So um, Our interviews can be individual or group based, so allowing students to express their motivations and interests face to face to the professors.
你计时没开，不久。
Sorry, I didn't open the timer.
你都算2分钟还是
Maybe
算
we
半？
should start at 2 minutes. Is that
Okay.
okay? Hello?
Yes.
那你就开。Okay. In your interviews, how can you ensure that the interviewer don't have any opinion to the students?
Um, don't have any opinion to.
想想，OK，
What do you mean by? Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
The interviewer might have the teachers who are interviewing might have opinions to the students,
Okay. What kind of opinions do you mean?
maybe to their school or their looks.
I think this can also happen in academic portfolios because teacher will still know which school the students come from, and also interview is something that already happened for a long time, not just like it's not exactly new. So if this is the issue, then I think we should not be just talking about abandoning the portfolio right now. Like it should be a much bigger problem than.
Okay. Then can you repeat your the first debater's the third point? Can you,
You mean harm three or
yeah.
这个 okay, risk of fabrication and lack of transparencies in how students work is evaluated.
OK， 1分钟。
Okay, preparation time 1 minute starts now. 你的声音关掉后。
risk of 什么东西？还有就是那 special mission，我有听懂exam那就分3点：exam这个什么那面试，还有一个什么给特殊人士的这个特殊管道。
所以 in 这种念
individual
就是面试
我这拼错了，不是这个是个人interview， 这个才是面试。
所以就是这3个嘛。
对，他无法证明 interview 那个什么，完了我这没改。
第3个多点，我不知道，
我也没听清楚它是什么东西。完了，这我怎么总结？3分钟。不是，你。
Okay, the negative side, second debater, constructive speech starts now. Okay, honorable judges and fellow debaters. In our we 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 suggest to Okay, the honorable judges and fellow debaters, we are proud to negate the resolution. Our contention one talked about academic portfolio assist students in interest, exploration, and future planning. And the second contention talked about academic portfolio enhance students' literacy abilities. And contention three mentioned that academic portfolio benefit universities by providing a holistic view of students. And now I'm going to answer to the to the affirmative side. First, about their contention one, mentioned about handing the report, cause students stress. And I think in this part, report can doing report can help students record their learning and the ability to improve. And also, hand in a report is a necessary thing that we should do in the college. So this is a practice before college. And also, they didn't talk about stress is bad. We we think that stress is good because it forces students to move. And the academic portfolio's stress is obviously good. It forces students to improve themselves and learn further. And about the contention too, in the different in resources, I suggest that their plan also causes the same harm. So this is the same. And also the academic portfolio uh, has not has no strong relationship with economy. So not this is not important. And okay, so about their plan, the three plans are are made together, and there isn't any evidence that the three policy can cooperate well at the same time. And also they didn't talk about any evidence about polishing the policy. And in their first in their second debaters constructive, they didn't do any offense to our contentions. And I think this means that they have no idea to they have no uh, they fully agree our contentions. And okay, and talk about your plan, is which is three plans, which is okay. Then the first, second, and third exam is about exam, interview, and special admission. But this is actually the same thing that we're now using in the college admission. In Taiwan, we do exam first, and then we hand in academic portfolio to tell teachers and professors that our special and our interest. And the third special admission is also the policy that Taiwan is now publishing. And I don't think this is a new change, but but a policy that is already abolished in Taiwan. And we're the negative side, which talk about the well status quo, and we're not going to abolish academic portfolio. Honorable judges and fellow debaters, we are proud to negate the resolution. Okay, so the cross-examination 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, so can you please make your minor repair a bit more clear?
What do you mean? Which part?
Like
Can you?
you didn't solve the harms that we just mentioned.
We talked about the the first contention, the stress is good, and in the second contention, this doesn't matters.
What do you
So
mean is that? Oh, sorry.
this okay. The we talk about the contention to which talks about different in resources on doing academic portfolio is not true and it is not important because the different in resources happens in everywhere every time doesn't happen just on the academic portfolio, so it's not important.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So, can you prove that portfolio is not related to financial differences? Like,
Okay,
can you
okay,
provide any evidence?
so the academic portfolio can't can't solve this problem because it has it has it ha- it doesn't have strong relationship to economic and oh
Do
okay
you have any evidence?
um you mean
Like to
about
prove that there's no connection.
no what.
Okay. You just now you said that what we provide is the same as what we have, what system we have now. What do you mean by it is the same as we have right now? Because as far as
Because
we know, it's different.
okay, so because the difference in resources happens in the urban rural area always and in any country and it can't be solved by just the these policies, and also this doesn't really matters when
Okay. What I mean is that you said that what the plan that we provide is the like the new system we provide is the same as the old one. What do you mean by that?
right because the now when we are doing college admission we are we have the nearly same policy with your plan. First,
Okay.
we do exam, and
Okay, I get it. Last question. How do you have any evidence to prove that stress is good for students?
okay, time's up, and 1 minute preparation time.
敌对很弱啊，他们没什么攻击力，对别人也没有出手。他们的plan完全没有讲到 future 的东西，然后对啊，然后他们也没有，你这是 work out with future no offense 对，然后这个他们没讲。
no offense to the first contention, no offense to the second contention, and also no offense in the third contention, which means that they fully agreed with our plan and agree to not to abolish. They 就他们承认，对对对。那你看你的那个要讲什么？讲一下他们辩论技巧的问题吧，然后还有他们没有解决
辩论技巧
不是，就是你自己照你自己的 tempo
你开始了，你开始了。
OK，
Okay, okay, so
the 3 minute rebuttal of the negative. Is this
first debater of 对，那是我吗？
the negative side first debater rebuttal 3 minutes starts now.
Honorable judges and fellow debaters, as my partner elaborates on how their plan and harm are invalid, I will further describe how their plan should not even remain our status quo. First, we mention portfolios that can help interest in exploration and future planning, while there's their plan of interview, exams, and special ways. It, it's actually similar to the portfolios using now, and the thing that the thing that they only change is they turn academic portfolio into an interview, but only the interview, but the interview is even worse than academic portfolio Because academic portfolio, you need to do it in 3 years, and during these 3 years, the academic portfolio can provide help to students' future planning, while the interviews will will be only need to be prepared in like 1 week or 2 weeks at most. Second, we mentioned portfolios can help students increase their literacy abilities, and the interview only can help students have uh, only can help students be better at speaking. No, not even speaking, because an interview is too short for the student to practice, while an academic portfolio can help very much. Also, they didn't attack both our first point and second point, so they think that our points are true. And third, we mentioned that portfolios give universities a holistic view of students, while their plan of interview only will be based on the first impression of the teachers to students, and that won't show a holistic view of students. That will only based on the first impression, and they didn't attack our third point. From these two speeches, we can conclude that the opponent's plan lacks details and they have no solvency in their plan, which means that their plan couldn't solve the harm, even worsening it. Their harm doesn't matter and is even invalid. So they can't even maintain the status quo. At last, they didn't attack our any point, thus super growl to negate. 1分钟。
Okay, so the preparation time 1 minute starts now.
那最后这一段不摘起来写出来就写 first and third 就行了，后面这段完全删掉就行。你就看这3点 talk your future，这一段你就反正它没有 attach，然后 based on first impression，反正就是基于第一印象啊，它就一个面试能讲啥？你就想这 demo portfolio 可以看出他的成长，但是这玩意儿只有一面。
那个成长
growth。nice，这东西真稳定。
Okay, so the affirmative side, first debater, rebuttal, 3 minutes, starts now.
Honorable judges and fellow debaters, the negative mentioned how we, the affirmative, don't have a detailed plan when they don't even offer any changes to the system to fix the detrimental harms that we mentioned. Today, the affirmative will prove that the minor changes, or rather the lack of, that the negative offered do not solve the detrimental harms that we mentioned. They merely stated their stance, which is that students should just have to suck it up and deal with stress. Second of all, they mentioned how the sustainable and fair plan that we provided is the same as the system that we have now, when it is clearly not true. They also did not provide any examples or evidence. They had no proof that academic portfolios are related to differences in social and financial classes, when students now have to spend tons of money to do extracurriculars to have material to fill up their portfolios. Very obviously, students from less wealthy backgrounds do not have the resources to do this. They mentioned how a large reason of why students create portfolios is that so that professors can get to know them. But the truth is that this can be done during interviews as well. They also offered no proof to suggest that stress is good. That's why we, the affirmative, believe that our plan to abolish the academic portfolio system and instead use a system that relies heavily on interviews and specialized tests is better for students and teachers alike during the college application process. Thank you.
你干嘛1分半呢？你这写不完，你别
What do you mean? You are done?
你等死，你
Are
过
are
来吧，
you sure?
你就让他过完，你不用管。
In my partner's rebuttal speech, she'll elaborate on how our plan is, first of all, different from the system that we have
那
now,
就改一
and
下
she'll
稿。
also prove that this system is better than the current portfolio system that we have now.
你就等写完，别管他。
我就不讲话，就是这样。
他就改一下稿，但是没有稿上那么多，就改把这么一大段改成几句话。我上次也这样。哎，关倒计时，关倒计时。你看。
Okay, so 1 minute preparation time starts now.
你快点改一下。来。
我最后会讲这3个点，就是第一个是说他们的那个跟台湾线的情况没有不同，
没问题。
AP 也只是其中一个部分。
你不要讲 no difference，你讲 even worse。他甚至不能体谅台湾。
There is no any benefit.
Only
And
compare
it is nearly the same 啊，先不要讲这个 no offense，我就讲，对不对？这个是在讲那个，他们要讲到说，他们没有考虑到台湾的现状，还有实行的结果跟一些什么资金，不用，我们要讲这个，还有一些课，就是一些对这样啊，no improve，然后 improve，然后这个没有，然后先讲其他的。
Okay, so the rebuttal of the negative side, second debater, during uh, 3 minutes starts now. Honorable judges and fellow debaters, we are proud to negate and in our okay, so we talked about they talked about their plans to replace academic portfolio, but the three policy is just nearly the same with the policy that we are using in Taiwan now, and also there's even worse to do this policy because the interview part can't remain the status quo which academic portfolio can reach, and based on the and the and also the interview is based on first impression and and in compared and to compare the your plan and academic portfolio provides students to grow, to learn, to improve their abilities, and in the three in our opponent's three plans they only mentioned about the college admission but not any growth, not any improving, and not any learning. This is just about admission and no growth. Okay, so honorable judges and fellow debaters, we win this debate because three main reasons. First, there's there's no evidence that about their plan. The most of the part is about what they want to do, and this is a mind and a opinion, but not realistic. First, they they didn't consider the status quo in Taiwan now, and so they can't imagine after their plans do in Taiwan, what will it change, and what can they resist this policy in Taiwan? So this is not realistic, which is just their opinion and imagination. Okay, so the most important one of their mistake is that they didn't do any offense to our contention, which no offense to contention one, no offense to contention two, and no offense to contention three at all. And this means that they fully agree our contention, and they agree to remain the status quo, and we win this game. And
来结束。
okay, so the 1 minute preparation time starts now.
完蛋，我最后犯了一个很大的错误，我讲 win this game，希望他没有听到。应该讲 win this debate。我最后要讲 win this debate，我讲成我还没结束，
你结束还有一次。
我刚刚最后一句不小心讲成 win this game，应该要讲 win this debate，我把它当游戏在玩好了。他们也没有攻击啊，但是我们也打不了他们，因为我们听不懂他们在讲什么。听不懂，
我听不太清。
他们很多证据，很多奇怪的词语，我告诉你，那个你来了你也不一定听得懂。
因为有的它是纯英式的英语，
对，
有的纯英式的，
还有一些奇怪的单词，基本上念出来的单词只有那些的啊、或一些基本上我们听得懂的，不然大概70%他们讲的时候我们其实都听不懂。好，不要吵了，反正不知道看他们的最后2遍怎么讲。
复
说，等我们快结束，等我们一下。
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, this is the last part of the debate. The second debater of affirmative side, rebuttal, 3 minutes. Start now.
So we're not sure the negative knows what we're debating about, because the topic should be about portfolios during the applications, and we believe that it should be abolished. And also that the negatives didn't give us evidence on their contentions, and they didn't provide any plans to solve our harms, and that's why we believe that our planet, the affirmative is better than the negative, because first of all, our plan solve the harms that we just mentioned. If our plans provide that the teachers, like our plans make sure that teachers will not have to spend extra time, and students will not experience extra stress because they need to prepare for the portfolios. And also they said
他们一辩很强，他们一辩超强，一辩叫一辩没有，他们一辩超强。
Oh, and also they said that our plan is exactly the same than the usual one, but it's different because first of all we abolished the academic portfolio, and then so the students can showcase in their interviews, and they can show to the professor their true personality instead of the portfolio, because the portfolio might be edited by their parents or teachers, which also may not show who the student really are. So we believe that our plan can solve this problem. And also standardized exams has happened for a long time, and it happened because it is the fairest way of measuring students' abilities. So this is why we believe that our plan can make sure that students won't be judged unfairly because they are from different region or they have different family backgrounds. Um, so for the above reasons that the formative believes that we should win this debate because our our plans can solve what we just mentioned, and the negative has just been going on and on in circles without really solving any problems. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for today's debate. And
Okay, so once again, I'm the teacher and the coach from Tainan Zhong. So, if I may, first of all, thank you for your effort. I think this is a great learning opportunity for both sides of the student. Okay, so I think I really appreciate your efforts. Okay, to show my appreciation, I think I'll quickly share some of my observation through this debate. And after that, if you have any questions that you would like to clarify, or if there's anything that you would like to share with your fellow students, we will have some time to do so. Okay,
okay,
so let me start. Is that okay?
that is okay. Thank you.
All right. So let me start with the negative. Okay, let me start with some of the good things that I have observed. Okay, number one. Okay, I think it is really good that you try to ask some clarification or clarifying questions during the cross examination. Okay, because sometimes the constructive speech can be a little bit unclear. So, for example, you asked what the harm really are about, or you asked about some details of the plan. I think that is a very good start because you really need to understand the harm in order to give your response. So, I think that is a good thing. And I also appreciate your negative rebuttal speech, particularly the first one, when you try to compare the essence or the most important difference between the two cases, or at least that is the difference that you have observed. Okay, so you try to compare the interview and the portfolio. I think that is a very good thing because usually during the rebuttal, the debater seems to give us a long list of reasons instead of telling us what truly matters. So I think it's a good idea that you try to point out one key difference between the two cases and try to explain why your case is better. Okay, and also I think you're correct to point out that if the other side failed to respond to some of your contention, basically they're conceding or agreeing with your contention. Okay, so that is probably for the affirmative. It's important that you try to at least address some of the contentions. And of course, for the affirmative, you can also get the negative to respond to their harm. Because, well, if I hear it correctly, I don't recall hearing the attack on the affirmative's harm. Okay, so this is true for both sides. Okay, you should try to get the other side, the opposite side, to address the important contention of your case. Okay. However, for the negative, I do would like to remind you. Usually during the first negative constructive speech, if possible, you try to respond to the harm of the affirmative. Okay, it's okay for you to advocate for the status quo, or in other words, to talk about the benefits of academic portfolio. Okay, but as you said, if you never respond to the harm of the affirmative, basically we will take it as you agree with or concede with the affirmative's harm. Okay, so that brings us to the affirmative. Okay, so in that case, you should really try to get the negative to address to your harm as early as possible. Okay, probably after the first negative constructive speech during the cross examination. Okay, of course. Okay, in your response, you can try to attack those benefits that they have brought up. Okay, so for example, you can question whether this the portfolio is really that useful for the literacy skill. However, I think what truly matter is for you to get the negative to concede that there are a certain harm, and then to try to get the negative to talk about their solution. Okay, with that done, later on you can try to compare, saying that, oh, we have these harms and we have these solution. However, the negative failed to tell us why these harm does not exist, and that it failed to offer a better solution. Okay, but I think the affirmative did do something good. Okay, so for example, I really like your first affirmative constructive speech. I think it is in a very good structure. Okay, it's really helpful for comprehension.
Yes.
Okay, so usually during the first affirmative constructive speech, you should start with a definition, the topicality. You start with the definition of the portfolio, and then you move on to talk about the harm. For each harm, you have clear evidence. Okay, so I think that is a very good structure. Okay, so basically, that is what I have observed. Okay, so I think the takeaway is number one, try to have a clear structure. And number two, whenever possible, try to respond to the important points of the case from the other side. If the opposite side failed to respond to some of the important contention, I think it will be to your benefits. Okay, it will be good for you to try to point that out. Okay, so that's basically what I have observed. So would the debate is there anything that the debaters would like to talk about?
Um, maybe nothing. And actually, we are because of the problem of classroom, so we are struggling with the problem before starting a debate, and also we're in the same classroom now, so
We're in the same
we're
classroom with the other team who
the affirmative side of Jingchen High School. So
Uh-huh.
we
it's a bit
like
noisy.
we disrupt others each other, and
Ah.
so that the your school
The
the
left side, we can't hear their words very clearly.
and also they can't hear our contentions really clear. So it's much like a situation that we both of our sides we can't clearly understand what is others talking about.
I'm sorry
And
if I may interrupt. Do you have an headset with you? Do you have an earphone?
I have it, but we forgot to bring it to the new classroom, and
So
our
you're not using an
right,
earphone.
right, and that
Okay.
is our mistake.
Okay, so
And
my suggestion is that for that you probably need an earphone, because I can
right,
tell that there are some background noise
right.
in on your side, but with an earphone I think I can still mainly understand what you're trying to talk about. So I think
Okay,
an earphone will truly makes a difference.
okay, and that is really our fault. We will
Improve next time.
improve this mistake next time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and when the affirmative side, the first debater talk in the constructive speech. Actually, the vocabularies and the
Words.
the words is too
Three.
too difficult for us. So actually, we can't fully understand the the
Mhm.
whole the whole contention.
So in that case, actually, it does happen during a real debate. So my suggestion, as I have mentioned, okay, it is definitely 100% okay for you to clarify some of the points during the cross examination before you can move on. And my suggestion for the affirmative, okay, so sometimes when people ask you these kind of clarification questions, do not just repeat your original point with similar wording. Okay, you try to paraphrase it, you try to get it clear. Okay, so this will be to your own benefit. Because if the other side cannot understand you, or even worse, misunderstand you, then you're actually going nowhere. Okay, so if the other side tries to ask these kind of clarification questions, you try to explain it in a simpler way. Okay, so that's my response to your question. So do you have any more questions?
Okay, and actually, we mentioned that when we talk about our contentions, actually there's always evidence in our contentions, and maybe
The noise
because
inside
the noise, the background, and they can't hear very clearly
our evidence.
with our evidence, and also of course this is our fault. And talking about they didn't maybe I suggest they can talk more and show more evidence whether stress is good or bad next time when you guys are going to debate with others.
Okay, so thank you for your suggestions.
Okay,
So
and
any further questions?
is there anything that the affirmative side wants to say? And also thank you for today's debate.
Thank you as well for today's debate.
Okay, so is there any further questions or anything that you would like to talk about so far? No? Okay, so once again, thank you for your efforts. Okay, we hope that we all learn from this, and hopefully we can see each other once again during the national debate. Okay, so that concludes today's debate. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.